Today I'm gonna be trying to break the Zendaya drawing curse. And if you don't know what that is, people have noticed that Zendaya is kind of impossible to draw and people just kind of can't get her face right. So I'm stepping up to the plate, I'm stepping up to the challenge, and we're going to start. I'm gonna pick a picture. When I first saw this one, I was like, I need to draw this. Let me just see if there's anything else. I'm mesmerized. I better not see a picture of her with that hat on.
I stick by it.
Is this why like the curse exists? Because it's so hard to find a picture or reference? Wait. Hello? Oh, I'm drawing this 52 minutes ago. That's a sign, kind of. I usually don't analyze people's facial features. I mean, I don't do it before I'm drawing. It's usually something that happens while I'm drawing. But let me just try to do that now, and maybe we'll figure out why people have such a hard time drawing Zendaya. My hypothesis, before I even start to analyze anything, is that she is so beautiful, gorgeous, that when you go... Like, let me use Irene in Red Velvet as an example. She is so beautiful. In my mind, before drawing her and really getting to look at her, I'm like, she's like perfect. She's got a perfect face. That when I would see something that would be maybe perceived as a flaw for other people, I'd be like, this doesn't make sense that this is on her face. If you're an artist, you probably know there's all these rules to drawing faces. When you draw someone who you think is like very beautiful, and you kind of notice that things are not in like the right place, it can be a little hard. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm thinking people might have a hard time drawing Zendaya. Okay. Right. No, everything looks right here. Everything looks perfect. I mean, the only thing that I am kind of noticing is that maybe the space between her eyes is a little, shorter. Like her eyes might be a little like tiny too close together. Tiny bit. See how good I am at that though? Like I said it was like a tiny bit, and look at how tiny bit. Oh wait, doesn't that mean they're a little bit wider? That's what it is. They're a little bit tiny bit wider. What else? What do people that do makeup call this? Like a hooded eye? This eye is like a little bit more rounder than this one. This one's like a little bit longer. You know, we always hear things like people that are the most beautiful in the world have really symmetrical faces. I don't think is true. So that could be another reason why people have a hard time drawing. Yeah, I can't really notice anything else that's like too different. But you know, just like tiny details can kind of like, I guess, destroy that likeness that you're trying to get. I'm sure people can look at this and see like her outstanding features and add those to their style to make it look like her. I'm trying to think of like what else, or like how to articulate thought that I'm having, because I also struggle sometimes with likeness, especially when I'm drawing someone that does not have facial features that I have. Sometimes I accidentally give people round faces. Also, like how you observe the world might be the complete opposite to what is reality. Like an example, Christmas trees. Like if I told you to draw a Christmas tree in like the most simple way, you would probably draw it like that. But if you were to ever see a tree that is like this in real life, the branches go upwards. They don't go like straight down. They're like that. Wait, hold on. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, I didn't really explain anything there, but you know, we're used to seeing this be a Christmas tree, the symbol, the representation of a Christmas tree. When you look at reality, they look more like that. So you're used to these weird things of what a face is supposed to do and look like and blah blah blah. But when you actually see, you know what, whatever. I'm done explaining. You probably get it. You're smart, you get it. I try to do this as fast as I can. I'm trying to learn some time management at my old age. So I've been asked a couple times how I add this grid to my drawings. It is just a transparent grid that I found online. I've had on my computer for like thousands of years, and I just kind of copy and paste it to the drawing and to however big or small I want the squares. The smaller the squares are, the more detail you can add, you know, because you'd have to zoom in more. And I feel like the smaller the squares are, the more precise I can get. There are websites that you can go to that it will make the grid for you. I prefer to make it myself because I hate going back and forth between websites and programs, and sometimes websites will not give you the original quality of a photo back. I'm going to copy the grid a bit here, and I'm going to click on the first layer and fill it with color and change the opacity. There's not really a technical art reason why I do this. I just do it because looking at the white hurts my eyes, and there's something about seeing like the white coming through on the brush that makes me press down harder on the pen, which is hard on my wrist and drawing tablet. I am like already burning a hole through this piece of plastic that I draw on. I'm gonna minimize this window and make this one smaller. I'm trying to like learn to have better shape language with paintings and stuff like that, because I think seeing clear shape and it matching the planes of your face, I mean not your face, the planes of whoever I'm drawing their face, very satisfying to look at. And what else? I'm trying to have more like clean edges in my art too, but sometimes when it comes down to it, I've been trying to learn how to do this a couple months, but sometimes when I try to do that, it looks unfinished to me and I blend it away. But those are some things that I'm gonna try to focus. Another thing, I think having this zoomed out while I'm drawing will help as well with drawing faster. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to the corner to start at. So I'm just gonna pick a corner to start in, and then keep going and going and going.
He was whipping up amazing foods, like making happiness. Actual happiness? Actual happiness. Enjoy.
It's the next day. I didn't have enough brain power to finish this tonight, but I'm ready. I did see a video recently that was like, to make a good voiceover, you have to pretend to talk like there's 5 people in front of you. But if there was 5 people in front of me, I think I would talk the same. Now that I'm seeing this today, these lines are a little too thin. Not that it matters, I paint over anyways. You know, I gotta make my reels. I'm gonna try to be really careful with the angles of everything here. It's kind of going that way. I usually struggle with that. I have another tip. I think I said this, like, I don't know. I feel like I've said this before, but I tend to over-exaggerate things that are curved. So to not do that, I try to see, like, instead of curved lines, straight lines. Like, this looks like it's curving, but I see that there's a line like that, like that. So that's kind of what I try to do. Same thing, like this looks like if you could just do that. If I were to do that, I'd make it so curved. So it's like a straight line. Now yeah, this is my first time talking about the process. I figure it'd be easier to talk while I'm doing it, sort of afterwards. After I finish art, I usually have other things on my mind. Could not talk drawing her nose. I watched the interview with the cat guy yesterday, last night, and it was so good. And I wish they would do more content like that because I think their personalities and their interactions with each other is kind of the selling point of Cat's Eye, especially when the music is kind of meh. The reason I became a Cat's Eye fan in the first place was for their personalities and their humor, and it's nice to see them not do like a sit-down interview that's curated by their company, like reality TV confessional or something. Nice to see them act somewhat natural, if that makes sense. So I wish they were actually like a K-pop group where they did vlogs and stuff like that, but that would probably be a lot. I really think it would stop a lot of the hate they get, because I think a lot of the hate they get are from fans that used to be fans, now they're haters, but they're still a fan because they keep up with everything. I do wish Manuel was with them. Don't know what's going on there. I don't think we'll ever find out what happened, but it sucks. They made a song with like one of her favorite artists and she couldn't even be a part of it. Unless she was joking when she said she liked Ed Sheeran. Yeah, it really sucks. And it sucks that the companies that they're part of kind of use, what would you call it? They use like outrage marketing or something like that. I'm getting nervous. There's something about the face shape that I think I got wrong. Oh my god, speaking of Cat's Eye, I had to change the audio of my last Lara speed paint because some bozo decided to copyright claim it, and it wasn't even Cat's Eye or their company. It was just some random man, which is like, why would you do that to me? I don't even make money off of my videos. So I hope that person trips and falls and embarrasses themselves today. Or actually, no, I'm gonna start wishing people the best. No, I'm wishing him. I wish they get what they deserve out of life. Actually, you know what? No, they can. I'm wishing them the best. It's actually not that serious. I hope they have a good day today, and I hope they're successful in their copywriting of other people's videos. Nice try though. No, okay, it's okay. I'm fine. I've been watching a lot of Al Pacino movies recently because I remember I have a massive crush on this guy. And I watched a movie from 1989, and when I looked up to watch the movie, Google has these related questions. One of them was like, how old was he during the movie? I'm like, actually, I do want to know that because in the screenshot, he looks very old. And I'm confused because isn't he old now? How would he be old in the 80s? And he was like 50 during the movies in the 80s. I'm like, there's no way he was 50 because, you know, Google is all AI now. It's like they must have messed up his age. And I looked to see what year he was born in. I was like, oh my god, this man has just been old forever. This is why eyes are so frustrating sometimes, because you think that iris is straight. I mean, not straight, a smooth round circle, and they never are. That's what I was saying before, like, what you see is not real. I don't know, I feel like that's kind of dangerous to say, because you never know who's watching this. Could be going through, like, thing mental, and I'm like, everything is a lie. I guess what I'm trying to say is, at first glance, don't trust everything that you see, which might be a good lesson to learn, especially now with AI. I am always checking if everyone's real. And I did want to make a video about why I think people fall for AI, because I have all the answers. Naturally, obviously, I'm always right about everything. But basically, something that I learned about in my art history class, it was around the 60s, there was art critics for a specific artist. And I'm pretty sure, this is why maybe I should make a video about it, because then I'll have my notes. But I think his art was just bullseyes. And there was an art critic that wrote about opticality. which is how fast your brain is able to recognize something and process what it is. That's why I think people fall for AI, especially AI art. I don't know if it would make sense for me to say it has a lot of opticality, but it's very like you see something, your brain automatically, like very quickly recognizes what it is, processes that information, and then you keep going about your day because everybody is scrolling. And that's why they say when you make reels on Instagram, the first 3 seconds are the most important, because that is what the audience or whoever is looking your stuff, it takes them 3 seconds to decide whether they want to stay watching something or leave, which is crazy. I think if we could be like positive about AI for a second, maybe the beautiful thing that might come out of AI is that instead of looking at something for 3 seconds and moving on, maybe people will start to slow down and look at things and use your brain, develop more wrinkles on your brain. Everybody needs to slow down and look, observe. Every time I draw and I can see like this little window down here, I can see a person coming through. I feel like Frankenstein. I get so excited seeing like my drawing come to life. I feel like I've created life, which is weird, but maybe that's how all creation feels. Oh, I have the mic on because I'm supposed to be talking about the process. Right. Maybe I'll show you guys how I did the reference for the colors that I want. I love like the spiky lashes Zendaya's been doing recently. She's almost here. Why does something look off though? Is this curse real? Why does something look off? Drawing, it's flatlining. I have to what do they do? I have to I mean, I don't know, there's only 2 seasons of the pit. I have to revive the drawing. Yeah. You're probably like, oh my god, this is so unnecessary for a sketch. No, it's not. Because if the sketch looks bad, it will torment me and I won't be able to move on to coloring. I'm not sure if the patient is stable yet, but as the doctor, artist, drawer, painter, I'm feeling good about this. Oh my god, how does it help? What? It's almost been an hour. Okay, we gotta do this. Second eye. Remember when I said I needed to get this done pronto? And here I am drawing every single hair I see in the eyebrow. It's like every time I say something like that, I have a curse. I have a curse that every time I say I want to finish something fast, something takes over my body and makes it so I draw every detail I see. But when will I defeat my curse? I'm feeling like this iris is like not the right shape. It's not giving, like I look at this and I'm feeling very round. It's not giving round, it's giving long. There was this one teacher that I had that was always bullying me, which is, it's like really fun to go to school and get bullied by your teachers when you're a child. And one day he said to me while I was minding my business in front of the whole class, he was like, you know who you look like? You look like Rocky. And if you don't know, Zendaya used to be on a Disney show called Shake It Up, and her character's name was Rocky. But there's also this movie about a boxer named Rocky, and people thought that he was saying that I looked like Rocky the boxer, which I think he wanted to say that. And the whole class was like, oh, like that's messed up. And then he was like, no, guys, I mean Rocky from Shake It Up. And then he was like, I have another student who looks like Cece from Shake It Up, who was actually my friend. I was like, oh yeah, that's my friend. Because I can never really tell when somebody's trying to make fun of me. It's one of my gifts that I'm grateful for. I don't realize it until like way later. But why did I say that? Oh yeah, because I wanted to show a picture of what Rocky looked like. But I still think about it to this day now, because in that moment I was like, oh, he's saying I look like Zendaya, which I loved Zendaya. I still love her. And I wanted to look like her because I was obsessed with Shake It Up. I would like literally do my hair like her. Like, oh, I'm giving Zendaya. I've been trying to give Rocky. But now I think about it and like, oh, I look like Rocky Balboa. Right. So thank you for that. And you know, and it's always the funny looking people that want to say something to me because he literally looked like he had the longest head like this, and then his hair was like this and shaved on the side. And it's like, you literally look like this and you want to talk about me looking like Rocky Balboa and I was 12, and you want to do that in front of the whole class. And then one person tried to bring it up again a couple months after it happened, and they're like, oh, remember when, you know, Mr. Ugly Face told Tootie she looked like Rocky Balboa? And I said no, because it still hadn't hit at that point that that's what he was saying to me. I said no. He said that I look like Rocky, I look like Zendaya. I'm like, hello, I look like Zendaya, obviously. And she was like, no, he said after you left that he meant that you look like Rocky. And you know what she looked like? She wasn't cute. And it's like, of course you would be. Well, you know what? Let's be nice. Let me be nice. Let me take a page out of Cat's Eye's book. Say God bless the mean girls. But I do have some like somewhat of a complex for what I look like, and that's an incident that I think about a lot. The Rocky incident. Oh, the other incident? I was hearing some stuff. I think it was like a random reel about doppelgangers and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I already met mine. I think this was around the same age. And like it was another girl. We were the same age. And people would always ask if we were sisters because we looked alike. And I never really like thought she looked like me, but after people started saying it a lot, I'm like, well, I guess we kind of look alike. And I was never really bothered by it because I was like, yeah, she does look like me and she's pretty because I'm pretty. But she would always get so upset about people thinking that we looked alike. And it wasn't until later that I was like, oh my god, she thinks I'm ugly. So that's another thing that I think about. When people are like, oh, I want to meet my doppelganger. Do you? Because they might think that you're ugly. But maybe she just thought herself like that she was ugly. Wait, oh yeah, so I guess if she thought that she was ugly, she probably thought I was also ugly. Whatever. You know what it is too? Like you don't really know, well, for the most part, you don't really know what you're like, what you look like until you hear other people's feedback about yourself. I only ever really get compliments from people in my family, and then the people that do comment about my appearance are, you know, upset that people think we look alike or saying I look like Rocky Balboa. So it's like, obviously my family is being nice to me, but you know, strangers have no obligation to be nice to me. So I just come to the conclusion, I do the math, and I go, yep, you're ugly. But I don't really feel like that. But sometimes I do, just because, I mean, I said it in the last video, I like to be mean to myself. I like to give myself a nice slice of humble pie. And those are the things that I go back to and think about things. And I just want to feel bad about myself. Just because. I don't know if that's like a bad thing or a good thing. I feel like it's okay to like feel bad about myself sometimes. The only time it's not good is if it's preventing me from living my life. You know, isn't there a saying that everything is good in moderation? So it's probably good. But yeah, I did bring that up because, I mean, just to put that thought in your head, that I look like Zendaya. In case you're wondering and you were like, oh my god, she looks like someone, a celebrity, I don't know who, Zendaya. That's my doppelganger. Okay, let's start coloring. This was kind of the worst part of painting. Okay, now let's just try to focus on the shadows. The shadow here. I'm also going to try to use less colors. I think it would help me achieve the look that I'm going for. If I just pick one, like the highlight, I'll try to stick with it, but it's such a habit using the color picker. Actually, I'm going to put the sketch under this layer, because sometimes the lines of the sketch, I will stay in the lines instead of painting. I don't know, whatever. I like it. I don't have to explain everything. And I'm not using the grid right now just because I want to. I'm not too worried about the hair being accurate. A little heart in her hair. Just thinking like, this is an insane thing that I'm doing. I'm drawing. but I'm only drawing to make a video to post next week. Why am I doing this? There's another heart. Zendaya sending me a message. I thought you were married. Wait, I don't see it anymore. Now the end of the night, day 2, breaking the Zendaya curse. While I was painting the hair, I wasn't really happy with how it was turning out, but now that I took a couple hours to not be staring at this, I think it looks pretty cool. It's definitely not anything I've ever done before. At least I don't think. But now I've got my hot chocolate. I'm ready to lock in. I think stepping away from your art is good, because if I would have kept sitting here for another 3 hours working on the hair, the way it was looking was really bothering me in the moment, and I probably would have just redone it or blended everything the way that I'm used to it looking. But now that I've taken the time to relax a little bit and come back to this later, I'm like, whoa. There's another tip for you, is to walk away when you're feeling frustrated with your art and you're like, this isn't turning out the way I want it to. Just walk away. And sometimes it's not even that it looks bad, it's you gotta do the rest of the artwork for things to look right sometimes. I have been thinking about doing a looser type of style just because I've been experiencing some pains in my hand and wrist. I'm thinking if I were to do a style where it was just very loose looking or looser than it's used to and a little bit more messy, that would kind of help my wrist a little bit, give myself a break. Let me know if you like it. And if you don't like it, let me know. I really like it so far. I might wake up tomorrow and be like, what was I thinking? It's okay. Some phenomenon I've been experiencing lately that's really bothering me is I'm back to drinking coffee again. And usually when I make the coffee, I let it sit because it's super hot. And it seems like it only takes about 3 minutes for the coffee to get lukewarm, which is really ruining the experience of me drinking coffee. Because I'm drinking it because I want to have something like nice and warm to drink in the morning, and not something that is basically cold. But right now I just made hot chocolate, and because I've been experiencing this coffee stuff, I want to take a sip. I'm like, usually by now my coffee is basically cold and I burn my tongue. I don't really care too much if the shadow is accurate or not. No, never mind. I'm taking that back. I'll do the shadow later. I think I might be doing too much. Like, it's not really coming across as hair. It's just, you know what, maybe this is my sign. Move on. My plan also for this is to kind of have the face be the most detailed instead of the whole piece being detailed, to save time, and also don't want to do the beads and stuff in the dress. I'm gonna get this sketch and put it on top. I'm actually so excited for this drawing. I think it's always exciting to try something new, but you might be seeing this and being like, it kind of looks similar, but I've never done hair like that. I think for these, like, I don't even know what to call this, beads, I might just keep it like a simple color and leave it as lines. I think tonight I'm probably gonna try to watch an old movie before I go to bed. I've really been enjoying doing that. I get a lot of inspiration watching old movies, or maybe not inspiration, but a lot of motivation. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. I get a lot of motivation to get up and work. Not a lot of people want to get up and work these days, whatever Kim Kardashian's. I did want to see like Odyssey, but I'm hearing people say it's not that good. And I didn't realize that it was made by the guy that made Oppenheimer. And I never finished that movie because I couldn't stop laughing, because I was recognizing all the actors. And actually, not all of the actors, but you know, I'll tell you what happened. I saw the guy that plays Iron Man, and I could not stop laughing. Like, it took me completely out of the immersion, because I was like, whoa, this grown man is getting paid to play pretend. And he gets all this praise and approval and thousands and millions of dollars just to play pretend. And it just, like, it broke me. And I think from the time that I tried to watch Oppenheimer, I was like, I didn't want to watch movies or anything anymore. It really broke my spirit in some way. So I don't know if I can make it through the Odyssey. I think Tom Holland is a good actor. I don't know if I've ever watched a movie he was in, but I feel like I could see him and not be like, oh, that's Peter Parker, Spider-Man, because I never watched the movies. But like, I'm watching my, historical thing about Oppenheimer, and here comes Iron Man. Like, he just wasn't a good enough actor to make me believe that he was whoever he was trying to be in that movie. I think that's also around the time I was just like, I just need to watch old movies where I don't recognize anybody in. And then I also tried to watch Barbie, and I did not like that movie. I only got like 10 minutes into that movie, and I stopped it. I was like, this is for kids. This is not for me. Good morning. It's the next day. It's somehow the end of the night, and yes, I still have 2 hours left. It's just don't ask me no questions, okay? But I will finish this today.